Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I was going to do a deep dive into all of the times women have warned us against Diddy. However, I'm sick, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play different audio and video clips of those times.
I just want you to look good.
If you're not happy, you hate me, then why are you having me here?
I don't have to have you here. That's one thing that we can make clear. That's one thing we can make clear.
What happened to Diddy Kane? Why did the band break up?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me, not talent-wise, but in other areas.
I'm a very strict and focused businesswoman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that
Oh,
question.
wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
I'm finding out so many times, even very early on, where Diddy was making comments like, oh, now you're f***able, like you look right, I could f*** you now. And things like that. I don't even remember.
Listening to Gene Deal, his bodyguard.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he had a really astonishing quote.
You should hear the one he's not saying. It's even crazier.
Right. So he's got stuff in the tuck that he hasn't put out there?
Everybody does.
I'm like, you guys stop, like stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like if I reached and he reached too, like we could touch, like he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like step in, like this isn't cool. Like you're a grown man, like you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family, like you know this isn't right, like do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these two grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's still 2 more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next and I'm like, okay, like do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. And I'm like, do something, you know, like fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that like gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything.
What did you know that was going on in the world of Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, that the world didn't know? What did you know back then, 3-4 years ago?
Gonna come forward.
So how'd you know? What'd you know about what Cat? Because
I wish I could explain.
Yeah,
but if I explain how I knew Cassie was gonna come forward, that could hurt some people.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attacks and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Right now is Sean Combs.
Okay, tell us why.
Because he's a sex trafficker. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic.
Now, is this just boys, girls, adults, kids? Like,
I mean, from what I've heard from sources that I would consider reliable, it really doesn't matter.
wow.
I don't think sexuality is something that has anything to do with gender at this point for Sean. I honestly think he's just an extreme narcissist who loves power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people.
After Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy accusing him of physical abuse, an old interview with Kimora Lee Simmons has resurfaced in the wake of Cassie's allegations. In the 2004 New York Magazine article, the article states, "There was a nasty cloudburst when Kimora said something to Combs and he threatened to hit her. And I was pregnant. The moron," says Kimora. Combs eventually got down on his knees in public to apologize. Kimora has always been outspoken about Diddy. And now, after the allegations were made public, she posted a cryptic message on her Instagram story saying, "As you sow, so shall you reap."
You know, I've tried to go to lawyers and get help. I've tried to show all the crazy texts I've had to block, like yourself. Why are these women, young women, not supportive or not really trying to hear that? Or what have they gone through? What have they seen that they, that has turned them off or that has put a bad taste in their mouth? We've seen a lot lately.
Cassie described in detail how Diddy was prone to uncontrollable rage and subjected her to savage beatings. She talked about losing her memory because of how much Diddy allegedly abused her, feeling suicidal, and being forced to hook up with male prostitutes while Diddy filmed it. Cassie also accused Diddy of forcing his way into her home and assaulting her near the end of their relationship in 2018. According to her, Diddy brought her into his extravagant, fast-paced lifestyle shortly after she met him and signed to his label when she was just 19 and he was pushing 40. That power dynamic Wendy was talking about, it was definitely there. But y'all, Wendy's tea spilling didn't come without consequences. Diddy allegedly tried to get even with her and had her blackballed for exposing him. In her 2004 book, The Wendy Williams Experience, Wendy wrote that she had contempt for Diddy because he tried to ruin her career single-handedly. It didn't stop there.
So Cassie's in South Africa filming Honey 3. And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them because if you use your head, you never know when they're going to pop up on the scene. Like he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now, zoom it to South Africa, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, okay, pay people off at the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like I'm already paranoid. He wants Cassie back. Oh, it's been all over social media. Puffy posted a picture of Michael Jackson's song, Lady in My Life, and wrote, "If anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times. I suggest don't use social media, though, to reach out. I think this is a grand overture from Puffy. I don't believe he really wants her back. I believe he probably treated her at some particular point like a possession, like a possession. And if you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly."
Got bad blood for a while.
Real bad blood.
The worst blood. The worst blood. You almost wanted to run you out of New York at one point, right? Well, not run, like push you out of New York at one point. Oh, he had you ran out. You give him full credit for that? Okay, cool. He had you ran out of New York.
We was in Miami and it got really crazy that time. We was upstairs and he had we were in his closet and he pushed me and I fell to the ground and then he stood over me. So I was laying on my back and he stood over me and he started punching me like this. He avoided my face, but he started punching me on the side of my head and I was just covering my face. And he did that and then after he got done doing that, he cause he was standing, his legs were in between me, so he he like stomped on my stomach.
So it was just like a jealous rage.
Yeah, I was like, I was just saying happy birthday, nothing else. I think he thought I was trying to be sneaky behind his back, because I like reached over when he like leaned forward to talk to somebody else. So he thought I was trying to be sneaky.
And you were how old at this time?
I was 22 probably.
Wow. Okay.
And then he did this, so King Los was sitting in the back.
Okay.
And then when we got to the hotel, it got even worse. And he took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me, and then he like mushed my face and like really hard and made my nose bleed.
Wow.
And the only person that every time me and he like we get into like fights like that, the only person that ever helped me was D-Rock. Everyone else just kind of just allowed it to happen and just like looked the other way.
So most of his entourage were, I guess, enablers.
Like his staff.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
And they wouldn't say anything. They would just watch him.
No, not watch it, but kind of just walk away and just leave us alone, and not really step in to stop.
Wow. Now, what made you stay? Because obviously there's baby number 2, and then there's more beatings, according to you, that happened after that, because that was just the first time. What made you stay?
Because I just thought, that he was only being like that because he loved me.